Thank you, Griffin, for a very thought-provoking and I'm going to say inspirational video, because it has inspired me to at least make this video and share my thoughts and experiences with you and other people. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about my background, how I feel about religion, how I got to where I am. So yeah, I can remember being sort of 7-8 years old back in junior school and doing RE lessons and thinking that they sounded like fairy tales. See, I had more faith. I believed more in people like He-Man and Superman, characters in films and comics and cartoons, than I did Jesus or God. So I've never really been religious, other than from about the age of about 7 to 12, I had a minor belief, because I was a big fan of Hulk Hogan, and he used to say, train, say your prayers, take your vitamins. Now, I took this advice somewhat lightly. I had a small belief in God because of this, and I did pray occasionally for things. But, of course, they were never answered. People still died, bad things still happened, and, well, it just wasn't working for me. And by the age of 12, when I was diagnosed with facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy, I was convinced God was not real, and it meant nothing to me by that point. My belief went back to my heroes, and more so to my family and friends. I became an atheist, although at that age I had no idea what an atheist was. It wasn't until I was about 16 that my history teacher explained to me what I was, that I was an atheist. And I was a warrior for atheism. I cut down and destroyed any religion pointed at me. I was debating with hardcore Christians, and I was becoming increasingly bewildered at the ridiculousness of their ramblings. These people were absolutely insane. I realised it was a pointless endeavour to talk with these people about religion. I mellowed out and just agreed to disagree. I had intelligent conversations with other atheists and the non-devout. When I was 28, I had pneumonia. I spent my 29th birthday in a hospital bed. It nearly killed me. And for 3 months, I dealt with it. Not through prayer, but through sheer will and determination to keep going, not to give up. And from the love and support of my friends and family. I did not pray once. I am still here. An experience with somebody who was and still is very much a big influence and inspiration to me changed the way that I view faith. Not religion, but faith. While I was in hospital, when I really needed to dig down deep, I thought about this person and something he would say. His words running through my mind, representing to me a pure determination to continue regardless. It was a big thing for me, and it really helped get me through that situation. I thanked the person responsible for these words and basically told him my life story. He told me about problems he had been having and that he prayed and that he had faith. But recently things had taken a turn for the worse and he was struggling. And he said if it wasn't for my email, he wouldn't have got out of bed that morning. And since that day he has gone from strength to strength. I am so proud of him. He's doing so well. I told him I'm not religious. He said God works in mysterious ways. Now I wasn't going to argue with him. I wasn't going to take that away from him. Prayer was what got him through. Prayer still gets him through. Now, I just don't have it in me anymore to take that away from people. I don't know if I'm an atheist anymore. I'm certainly not religious and have absolutely no belief whatsoever in God. I just know prayer doesn't work for me. People work for me. I have faith in friends and family and role models and real people. Something I can really believe in. I believe in reality. Now let me show you something. Now I've got a book here. You might have heard of it. It's called the Bible, right? It's also known as the Book of Bert in my wheelchair wrestling videos, but that's another story. I use it as a prop. But basically, I've read the Bible. I have read it. Not basically, but I have read it. And I don't like it. It's a load of waffle. It's got character flaws, plot holes. It is a fairy story, a fairy tale, a fantasy that is beyond any sane person's comprehension. Alright, I've read this, but I don't like it. A lot of people will keep it on their bedside and they'll read it, they'll read bits from it, little bits every now and then, just so they can answer questions in their mind. Now, I'm going to show you some of the books. I've got 3 books that stay in my bedroom, on my bedside cabinet. I read them like people would read the Bible. If I'm laying in bed and I'm having a cigarette and a cup of tea before I go to sleep, I'll pick up one of these books and just read small bits from it. And I'll show you these books. One of them, Richard Dawkins, The God Delusion. I don't know if you can see this, I'm not actually looking at the screen where the camera is, but Richard Dawkins, The God Delusion. Fantastic book. Trust me, read it. You will love it. Everybody out there, if you're not religious or if you have doubts about religion, read it. Also, Stephen Hawking, The Grand Design. Great little book, great illustrations, it's great for people like me, but for people that, don't read a lot, shall we say they like pictures more. It's a good book, it explains a lot for people. And probably my favourite book is called Derren Brown, Tricks of the Mind. Now, all 3 of these books are fantastic for explaining religion, explaining God, explaining prayer. Trust me, there's some great bits in there about prayer that you really need to read. And for anybody that reads it will understand what they're saying, unless they are the blindly insane, which there are more than enough of. They seem to run the world. People like me, atheists. I don't know if I'm an atheist. I don't treat people the way atheists treat people, but I'm certainly not religious. And I would say to you, Griffin, that you are absolutely bang on 100%. Prayer does not work. So, thanks again, Griffin. Have a perfect day.